What would you do if you had $250,000 to invest in ETFs today? Would you put everything into the S&P 500 and call it a day? Maybe, but that's not how I'd build it. Here's where it gets interesting. My goal with this portfolio isn't to find the ETF with the biggest dividend or chase the hottest stock. It's to create a portfolio that can grow, generate income, and survive different market conditions. So, here's the allocation. 60% goes into VOO, giving the portfolio broad exposure to the S&P 500 and some of America's biggest companies. That's $150,000. Next, 20% goes into QQQM, or $50,000, adding more exposure to large technology and growth companies. Then, 10% goes into SCHD, another $25,000, to add a dividend growth component and potential income. And finally, 10% goes into a short-term treasury ETF, such as SGOV, giving the portfolio a more defensive cash-like component, another $25,000. Now, here's the part most people miss. The goal isn't to predict which ETF will win next year. It's to create a structure where different parts of the portfolio have different jobs. VOO is the core, QQQM is the growth engine, SCHD adds dividend exposure, and the treasury allocation provides stability and liquidity. But remember, this isn't a guaranteed return portfolio, and the exact allocation should depend on your goals, risk tolerance, and time horizon. The real question isn't which ETF will make me rich. It's, can this portfolio keep me invested when the market gets ugly? Because building wealth isn't about finding one perfect ETF. It's about building a portfolio you can actually stick with for years.